Rakaka.se, sitting here with David Ting. How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
You're the general manager of esports at IGN. What does that practically mean that you do?
Yes, it's essentially the CEO of a small organization. So think about IGN Entertainment owns many companies, and I'm responsible for one of those small companies within a larger entity.
What do you do like in a normal week for you? What do you talk to sponsors, or what are your other responsibilities?
So I map out the strategy, I review the operations, so making sure that everything is according to my plan, vision, mapping everything out. I do business development for the team, so I talk to quite a few partners, and especially the critical ones, and also I do sponsorship, so I do quite a bit as a sales. So there's a lot of things I'm doing, not doing all of them that well, so we're getting more help as IGN, the Pro League actually expands, so I will get some help over time.
We are now in Las Vegas, in the Cosmopolitan. The last IPL 3, was in Atlantic City, and that was your first big tournament. What did you learn from that tournament, and what have you been trying to improve for this one?
The first and foremost is the age limit. In Atlantic City, 21 and over was really a crippling blow in terms of number of people who can make it to the event. So we tried really hard to find a right venue after Caesar's Palace, which limits the number of places that we could talk to in Las Vegas. So yeah, we're glad that it worked out. This works out. Cosmopolitan is working. The other thing that we learned was the first event that we ran, the cost was a bit out of control. So behind the scenes, we start taking a lot of the work in-house, especially the video production, the technical aspect of that. All of that is now manned by IPL team. So that really helped to keep the costs contained within the budget.
I can imagine this venue being quite expensive. What are your long-term economic plans you have now? You have the pass for the HD. Are there any other things that you plan to add for payments?
I don't think so. I think the next thing we're going to focus on is, given the success of this event, we want to do this on a regular basis. So you'll see us announcing a schedule way earlier than 5 weeks before the event, and really mapping it throughout the year. The other thing that we want to do better is that once you have a predictable schedule, it's a lot easier to sell sponsorship into. So we do expect that there's a high demand for something like a product like this. So we believe that the sponsorship revenue will catch up to the costs that are incurred.
This is day 3 of the event. What, according to you, has been the highlight so far?
Does it include day 1 and day 2? Okay. So one of the highlights for me was Scarlett in the first day. That's a great story. I just felt like having somebody who's relatively unknown doing so well, having so many upset, I really hope that she could have made it further, and I hope that she does it on the next tournament. The other highlight for me is really the traffic number. So at Atlantic City, we did 127,000 concurrent peak viewers on our peak, and at this event we did twice that in the first day, and we eclipsed 300,000 today, and we're hoping for more as we get closer to the final. So that's really the big story for me.
You recently had an event at the South by Southwest, yeah, where you had the Street Fighter X Tekken, I think it was. Are you planning on adding a fighting game, or maybe that game, to the next IPL event?
Yes, we just did not get the proper clearance for all of the publishers for having fighters at this event. So we are working really hard. So if I get my way on the next IPL, you'll see twice the floor space in terms of square footage. And you also see fighting genre as well as possibly first-person shooter genre added to this event.
Okay, do you have any first-person shooter games that you would like to see?
Yes, we're actively talking to Activision, Firefall, Red 5 Studio. There's a lot of people we're talking. Valve with Counter-Strike Go. So we just want to make sure that the spectator experience is correct and we can capture it correctly in the video production process. So we will probably do some light tests and before we incorporate it in the next event.
Like Counter-Strike is really big in Sweden, and you said you have been talking with Valve about CS:GO. Have you been playing CS:GO anything yourself, and what do you think about the game?
I played the old version of Counter-Strike. I think CS:GO is a huge improvement over it. The thing that I want to make sure is that once we invest in a title, we want to support it for many years. So that decision doesn't come lightly. So I want to talk to more publishers before deciding on anyone. I really like CS:GO. Counter-Strike was my go-to game before Doom. Just dates myself, but it's a lot of fun. So I hope that whatever choice it is, we'll make it carefully.
Talking with Valve, has there been any discussion about Dota 2?
We have picked League of Legends, so for us, we'll spend our energy on increasing the breadth of our coverage. Meaning, we'll add fighters, we'll add first-person shooter, just to really rein in the mainstream before we add additional MOBA games.
During the GSTL finals yesterday, there were a bit of an upset with the Marine King. It was a parting game. Marine King got disconnected, like in the last minutes of the game, you could say. And according to many people, like on the internet, Marine King would have lost for sure. But admin still decided to do the regame. Do you have any comments, or like why was that decision made?
I cannot tell. I think the experience of the referees there are vastly superior to my knowledge. Just based on my casual observation, I still thought that any person could have won that game. I think Marine King, I think Parting definitely had the lead, but then at the same time, Marine King could have, had one good battle and turn things around. It was back and forth throughout the whole game, so I didn't think that there was such a commanding advantage. I think that the decision is very fair, but then I think if we look at the problem, we did spend a lot of time this morning to diagnose the problem. We found the issue with basically our internet. Instead of a 24-hour lease for DHCP IP address is only set to a 1-hour lease. We solved it. So knocking on wood, things will be smooth today, and I'm very sorry about the problem that happened yesterday.
Right after I was there and the StarTech players, I know that Ulai was up, not screaming, but he was articulating a lot. Did you talk with the StarTech coach or anything like that afterwards?
No, I didn't have a chance to do that.
Like now we're in Las Vegas, the capital of gaming and so on. How are you going to top this for your next event? Will you be able to do it, or will you stay in Vegas for the next event? Can you tell anything about your future plans? Yeah,
we're going to do a majority of our events in Vegas. The reason behind it is that I believe the entertainment value that's here is incredible. As I spoke before when we did our event in Atlantic City, there are so many options like food, maybe a little bit gambling, clubbing, there's just a variety, shopping. There's just a lot of accessible, things to do other than esports. I think having that balance makes this event special. We believe that we could top it though. One is a space, because I think the League of Legends area is way too small. We had over 100 people in line, and we want to expand it, probably double or triple the size of it on our next event. Yeah.
To make it as big as the StarCraft 2 area, or will StarCraft 2 still be your main focus, or will they be equal?
I think that we just started on League of Legends. It's incredible that we are catching up to the views of StarCraft already, and it looks like signs are that League of Legends are going to surpass StarCraft 2 for us. So we will invest resources on things that are working better. So we will probably invest more resources on League of Legends in the near future, just so that you won't see much difference in StarCraft, but you'll see the League of Legends footprint get bigger. So you'll see national, international qualifiers, you'll see the open qualifier, so teams can come over here and participate, just like StarCraft, so that the two are at least on equal footing.
Going back to future plans, would you consider doing a tournament outside of the US?
Yes, actually we have. We partner with Multiplay to do a tournament in the UK. We are going to look for additional partnership. I'm looking in Europe as well as Southeast Asia. So we're talking to a few companies and see if there's a way we could somehow share results, exchange players, cross-promote. So there's a lot of opportunities to do things better. A lot of the times it's my fault because it's limitation me doing so many things that I'm not the most proactive person with partners, but I look at in the future to partner more with global organizations such as DreamHack.
Thank you very much for the interview. Do you have any shout-outs?
I would like to thank our sponsor and everyone who attended IPL 4. So thank you for continuous support, and I look forward to having you at IPL 5.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.